Monday. We're back on my water training arc, I guess. But today we have 3,400 meters, roughly, 3,800 yards. Estimated time is about an hour 20. So we'll kind of push through that, do some different drills. And then I've got a lead on a couple wetsuits to buy from Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. Just because I don't want to spend $500 on a wetsuit that fits when there's some for 120 out there. So we're gonna check in on those leads, but we're gonna finish the swim first. Okay, the swim is done. I've decided to change my strategy, right? Before I was like a minute 55 per 100 yards on the swim, and now my goal is to be a 2:10. I'm gonna go a little bit slower, but what I'm noticing in that is it's making me much smoother and much more efficient. And so when I swim at 155 per 100 through most of these workouts, heart rate's 135. When I swim at a 210 to 212, my heart rate is 118. And that ultimately is where I want to be. Less power used, less energy used. Breathing is more natural, because I think what happens being competitive is you start pushing your body to a spot that you can contain, but not for endurance. And so just going to do that for the rest of this training and really, I think, swim slow to swim fast, because if I can just continuously swim at 210 for the length, 2.8 miles, that is going to be much better than swimming at a minute 55 and maybe have to tread water or breaststroke or backstroke to catch your breath every 500 meters. So stoked about that. The thing I noticed about the wetsuit is the sizing proportions are okay when you look at size guides, but I've come to the realization that I think that part of it is just the length of my torso and my wingspan. So my wingspan is 6 or 7 inches longer or taller than I actually am. And then my weight obviously being 207 pounds now to 210. Just even looking at Saturday, like I was one of the bigger athletes out there. Just because I don't fall into that endurance build type. And so I'm going to look to get, another size up in a swimsuit. We've got some leads on Facebook. Surprisingly good deals if they respond back to me with some good brands. So that's the goal. Hopefully get a long sleeve wetsuit. Super stoked about this swim. 3.4K, 2.1 miles today, hour 20. And then I'm going to do an open water swim on Wednesday when it's supposed to be 100 degrees, so maybe like 34 Celsius. And really just kind of continue to rep through open water swimming. I did some on Sunday, and that felt great without a wetsuit. So Wednesday, I might as well go wetsuit or without a wetsuit until I find the right one, just because the one I currently have just isn't cutting it. So stoked on the swim. Swim slow to swim fast. Now we'll hop on to the bike for Tuesday's workout, where I can kind of talk about how my derailleur broke and I have to get that fixed, unfortunately. Tuesday, we're going to hop on the bike, but first, I've got a new carb mix that I hope I like, because I bought 10 pounds of it. Formula 369, best dollar to carb ratio in their electrolytes. And I don't have to do 8 scoops, I only have to do 3 scoops on the longer rides. Today I'll do 2 for the test, but let's hop on the bike. All right, today is Wednesday. Yesterday I did the bike ride, another power pyramid, and then I did a comedy show, which was fine. Today, though, I was supposed to do my open water swim because I ordered an open water swim pool boy tow float right after the Olympic on Saturday, and it just keeps getting delayed. And it was supposed to be here this morning, and now it is not here. And so it just kind of ruined the day. Because I moved my swim to today. I was going to run tomorrow, so now I'll run tomorrow, swim Friday, and just switch my days off. But honestly, a bummer. But one of the nice things, I guess, about just changing the rest today is got a new saddle in. Little Specialized Cetero Plus, 3-level padding, 130 millimeter. You can see. Supposed to be more pressure. It's supposed to be better for when you're sitting in the aero position. So I think I'm just tired of my old saddle. It's really uncomfortable. And so hopefully if this is even 20% better, it makes everything so much smoother. So we're going to install this, I guess. All right, let's replace this thing. All right, the bike seat is installed. Let's take a look at this. Just Pimp My Ride. There's the new one. Here's the old one. There's a little bit of the difference. And this one, you can see there's a slight downward angle there to be an arrow a little bit long. So we'll give this a ride on Saturday for 4 hours to see how it really feels. A car wash currently, but going to pick up a wetsuit, sleeveless, found on Craigslist for a steal of a deal. And this weekend is also Ironman Oregon, which is like 30 minutes to south where I'm at. So for Friday, a lot of traffic. I saw a couple of expensive bikes. So that's a 70.3, pretty fast course. A lot of people try to qualify for Worlds there. So best of luck to everyone. Maybe I'll hop down on Sunday and go check it out. Not 100% sure yet, but let's go get this wetsuit. And then I hit a pretty big comedy show tonight, so we'll go check that out too. All right, we're on our way to Comedy in the Park, which might have a couple hundred people or a couple thousand, but big thing to do in Portland. Got the wetsuit, super stoked on that. Show you that in a minute, but walk to the comedy show, give you a little glimpse. One of Portland's favorite events.
No, I want to fight. You always win. I do always win. We already knew I would win, right? Clearly, it would be a bloodbath, and you could record it, and we could go viral. From Laurelhurst, if you guys live over here, Cathedral Park might as well be 2 flights away.
Like 5 million Instagram followers.
That was a comedy show. Pretty crazy, right? Some people said there might have been 3,000 people, which I think is embellished. Maybe like 1,500, 1,700. Good set, a lot of out-of-towners. Nice little 10 minutes. Always fun to do in large crowds like that. But what's more surprising is the deal I got on this wetsuit. So found it on Craigslist. It's a double XL. It's brand new. Normally like a $600 suit. And I got it for $80. Fits pretty well, sleeveless, which might be tough in the cold water, but already feels significantly better than my previous one. Didn't need any help getting on. Easy to kind of latch up. The movement feels better. So pretty stoked about this. Hopefully next week I can take this on an open water swim. All right, a little past 8 in the morning. Endurance ride, 4 hours with 1 threshold effort. The goal here is not to stop. This is a big bike, so if we can get this one without stopping, feel pretty confident once we get to the longer intervals. But do this for 4 hours, then 20-minute run. All right, here's the damage. 4 hours, 73.5 miles. Don't know what my average power is, but ramped down a little tired, but on to the run. Back of the track, 2-hour workout. Did comedy brunch show, wedding last night. So 2 hours, the goal is a little half marathon here, so a little under 10 minutes per mile is the goal here. Probably the last track workout I do if my leg feels good. So we'll do that, 2 hours, just kind of knock it out, close out the week. Hour and a half in, 9.7 miles. It's starting to rain, which makes this a little fun because I was getting bored. So 30 minutes, finish out in the rain. Here we go. There you have it. 13.2 miles, 2 hours, 6 minutes. Not bad. Nice little half marathon there, if you will. Only the second time I've ever done that distance. Longest in training. So I think 13.2 actually might be the longest I've ever ran. Felt super smooth, legs feel great. Honestly, a big win for a run. So good week, good long ride, good long run. Some good sprints. I think my first full week since I got injured. So first time I've done all 6 workouts in the week. So I think next week is a taper week. Stoked on this. Go rest up, go compress, ice, and get back to it next week.